Hey, we're live. Good morning. Welcome to 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. How are you doing today? I got the choo-choo train out, and I'm not going to talk about safe today. Though you can apply what we're talking about to safe. Anyway, I'm Greg Mester, Agile Coach and Scrum Master, and this is 5 a.m. Mester Scrum, episode 127, and we talk about Agile and Scrum in a tactical and practical way so that everybody can get home to their family. We got the holiday coming up. Maybe you get to relax more and enjoy the holiday, or maybe give you some free time to do some entrepreneurial activities while you're not in the office or volunteer, right? Do a lot of that over the holiday. And then this make some money for the company, your business, how you're working for yourself, and to have more fun while you do it, less stress. Because everybody gets all stressed out. I was a little stressed. So I got the train out. I was just kind of like thinking about it this morning. So I got, this is a big old G-scale diesel train. It's pretty huge, huh? It's giant, right? You're used to little trains. This is a big train. Goes outside. So just one of the things I do on the side is that, and I'm trying to do it more, and it just hasn't got to where it needs to be yet because the house was being, my kids' room was being worked on last year. But where we go out to local parks and we run, my boy and I, my daughter, she does it too. She likes to set up these things. She's very much into organizing, building stuff. Very engineer like my daughter is. My boy just wants to run them. He wants to be the engineer. My daughter wants to design the tracks and the layouts, right? So we go out to local parks and we run these throughout in the city, and we have a group called G-Scale Garden Pirates with its own logo and everything. Maybe I'll put that up. I'll pull that out because I got a call the other day that we were a go for doing the local South Street event here in Philadelphia, where we set up a bunch of track, and I got a couple of people, a friend of mine who comes in from Lancaster, another friend of mine helps me. But then I was like all excited, like, yeah, I got the job. You know, it's not a job, but we're going to do it. And then I realized I booked a Shrek play at the same time. And I'm like, oh, damn. Right. So it's just like work, right? Yeah. You know, you want this work, and then you go, oh, we got the bid. Now, how do we do that work and the work we got and keep going without going crazy? So, but I got backups. I'm going to set it up, and my buddy's going to run it while I'm at the play with my family. And then we're going to come back, and because my daughter was like, I want to run it. So that's cool that she's all excited about it. So anyway, so that's news. I'll put up some trains as we go through this week until Sunday when we get ready to go. Maybe I'll just share them because it's just something neat, right? And you can apply it to, and I'll do my video for safe. Get the art, the Agile release trains, right? What yours look like. So anyway, that's the fun stuff. But another thing is just like typical like stuff where I had my roof worked on. It's just like bugs, you know. You get someone goes in and fix it, and they kind of fix it. And I really want to do the roof next spring, but the guys walking on the roof caused another hole because they broke my patch job I had done before. I'm like, oh, really? I got to patch it back up. So we had a leaky roof last weekend or this past week. So now I got to go up there today and patch that. Hopefully it'll be warm enough to do that. And we'll go from there. But just when you patch bad code, it doesn't get any better. It just comes back later. And I tell people all the time, they're fixing bugs. I'm like, because your code's really screwed up. And it's time to redo it. But what are you going to do? Anyway, back to Agile and Scrum. Though that's just fun stuff, you know, just having fun. Anyway, so I want to talk about Sprint Zero again. There's one little piece I want to add to what I was talking about yesterday about the product owner in Sprint Zero, which we didn't address. And also a daily commitment versus sprint goals. And I'm trying to get revolutionary change, and people like want to tote the box, right? I'm like, no, but you got to understand. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. So we're going to talk about Sprint Zero and the PO. So please like and subscribe. This is episode 127, 5am Mester Scrum. We love you guys. Everything's great. And let's keep communicating. Things are getting bigger and bigger every day. Hopefully, shortly we'll have over 200 subscribers. So that'd be cool. Anyway, so Sprint Zero and the product. So we talked about Sprint Zero and the team getting used to getting their their setups and timings and all that kind of stuff. Well, I also use Sprint Zero for the product owner because a lot of times you get a product owner that hasn't been a product owner before. And Sprint Zero is a 2-week increment. So it's a great opportunity for the product owner, if they haven't already built it up, to build up the backlog, right? 2 weeks is a lot of time. And this is where you really get dedication. What are you going to do? It's like, if I had 80 hours, 2 weeks, 80 hours to write requirements, you would have a book. 2 weeks dedicated to getting a team ready. You would have a book of requirements for me. No matter what the product line is, you will have like a book of features and requirements. If I was spending 80 hours a day, no matter what, I guarantee you, no matter what it was, I would definitely give you a couple hundred, 1,000 different features and stories and just lay it out there. It's very easy to do. Sometimes I haven't thought about it though, but it's an opportunity to use a Scrum Master and a coach on a new team in that Sprint Zero time period to work with the product owner and help develop that backlog. People are worried. So it's a two-way thing, right? So I got the team working on the backlog, learn how to be product owners, building stories for setup and connections, and maybe some minor user stories, right? But at the same time, I'm using that 2 weeks to give my product owner some time and BAs and whoever you got working to craft those user stories and craft those features of what they want to do. So there's a lot of work you can get done in 2 weeks. So some people think it's not enough time, but I'm like, have you ever worked straight for 80 hours on any one thing? Just one thing. Just one thing. Not like 10 things, but just one thing. If you can't generate like a couple hundred features in 2 weeks, imagination is not really working too well, is it? Right? Am I wrong? I don't know. Text me. Send me a comment if you think that 80 hours isn't enough to make a couple hundred features, which then can be broken down into like 4 or 5 stories each feature, or a couple stories for each feature. Tell me. I'd really like to know. I like the challenge. Anyway, so that's what I also do at Sprint Zero. So I try to get the product owner during that 2 weeks. They're like, what do I do? You write stories. It's your job. Write lots of stories, lots of stories. And we'll see which ones you want to work. And I'll work with you as a Scrum Master or an Agile coach and help you prioritize those stories. So that's what they do during that Sprint Zero. So I just want to clarify and provide that extra information what a product owner is supposed to do during that Sprint Zero, because you know you're going to get that question, right? That it's destined to have that question. So the other one, I had a long conversation with somebody about daily Scrum. And what you probably get, that's a big thing with me too. Every ceremony, how it run and why, and the nuances. And there's so much stuff I could talk about the nuances of every little ceremony and the impact and the side pack. But sometimes it's best when you have that conversation. So daily Scrum, daily commitment for a sprint goal. So I see in a lot of the textbooks, you're right, and it comes out of SAFe too, I think, because I see too much of a trend, and I really have to update my SAFe training. But they say like sprint goal. What are you doing to lead up sprint goal? As a program manager, project manager, agile coach, scrum master for over 30 years, mostly in the program manager, project manager stuff. Giving someone a sprint goal is like telling them they have 2 weeks to give you an answer to the problem. I think that's too long. I think that gives them an out, and I think it gives them an excuse to make bigger stories or bigger tasks that aren't getting done within a day. My challenge, and alternate approach, is I have mentioned this in a previous episode, and I blogged about it, about a daily commitment. Not a sprint goal, but what are you committed to that day? It changed the mindset of the people in the team, right? So the mindset is now not 2 weeks, but 1 day, right? You can manage a 1 day commitment because I don't know what's going to happen for the 2 weeks. But if I plan something for 1 day and I work it, there's still probably stuff going to come up. Because I've tried that a few times. There's stuff that comes up, right? But 1 day commitment is more manageable and more doable than something that takes multiple days. So even as a project manager and program manager and the incremental thinking, right? I never liked having giant, long POAM charts or Gantt charts. Even in my one company, they said no task. See, they learn this stuff, right? It's waterfall, but it's not. And they go, ooh, maybe we should do Agile. Maybe we do incremental. So they would go like, yeah, but you have no tasks that last more than a month. And they've been doing this for years. They've kind of learning it. And it's like, okay, really? You're clicking in, aren't you? This is a company from years ago. And so this is multiple years ago. So they're like, this is probably about 6-7 years ago. And I was teaching them. I knew a lot about Microsoft project. Anyway, so they would go and say, okay, no project, because we've been finding everybody's stretching things out. Gotta get this stuff done and multi-layer, multitasking, because they say, oh, I got plenty of time, so I'm going to multitask, and nothing gets done. All the projects are late, right? So they would go down a month. So they say, no project last month. So here's what I would do. Here's what I'm trying to transform my daily scrums for all my teams and everybody I meet is change it into a daily commitment. That smaller increment, not 10-day increment, but a 1-day increment. It says, what are you promising to get done today? What are you telling your team? What are you going to have for your team tomorrow? And I'll have another issue to talk about, because I'm going to write it down in my book, about what's in it for me. And because I wrote that too. We'll talk about that again. Because it's worth repeating every so often because it's important. So the daily commitment, what are you going to give to your teammates by the end of the day, right? What do you need from your teammates by the end of the day? And that's what the daily scrum's about. It's not about talking what you're going to do over the whole sprint. It's about what you're talking about each day. It's why they call it a daily scrum or a daily stand-up or whatever you want to call it. It's called a daily scrum. It's not a daily report out on how we're doing in the sprint. That's not in the book. However, it's about a daily commitment. What is your commitment for the day to the team? What's the value add to the team, which I'll talk about tomorrow because I want to keep this short. So anyway, so think about making the daily scrum not how you're going to do on your sprint goal, but what are you personally doing in your daily commitment to the rest of your teammates, right? What are you going to provide? What code are you going to code? What test scripts you're going to have ready? Say, hey, by the end of the day, I'll have all my test scripts written for story XYZ. So whenever you get done, let me know and I'll start testing. Or, hey, I'm coding this. I'll be done at the end of the day so that you can take on this part. Or I've done my database work so that it should be exposed to you. Come tomorrow, we can get together and we can see how your code matches up with my data and we can do some test runs and do some unit testing or something like that. So those are the ideas, right? It's about every day increment. The smaller increment you can make it, the more successful your team is going to be. I'm going to add one more point about this and we're going to close up. As a project manager, do I have this? I don't know. Eddie's got something here. Eddie's picture from the other day, right? So I'm going to draw an S curve. I'm going to show you what happens. The reason why you do daily and why you want to get successful is it's amazing how many people don't know what S curve is. So you get your time, you get your hours, your dollars, and this is time. And your S curve, any project starts low, goes up, and comes down like that. So it starts slow. Every project starts slow. If anybody draws a line like that, that's insane and it never happens. I'm going to tell you that right now. You can go laugh at them and tell them Greg Mester told me to laugh at you because you drew a straight line across there, because that'll never happen. It takes time to build up the team. Once the team gets formed, storming, normal, forming. You get that one. And then it comes up and then it levels out because you're down the end and you're just testing out some stuff. So that's your time, your dollars, your hours, how much time you spend on that. So what happens is every delay you get shifts out this curve and it comes out longer. Every delay shifts out the curve and it takes longer, right? So every daily delay that you don't get it in, and this is why you want to do, what are you doing each day? Each day your team doesn't make their daily commitment, the more likely you're not going to meet your sprint goal. See that? That pretty interesting? So every day you make a sprint commitment. because you know if they're meeting their daily sprint, every day you make a daily commitment. You know if they're making their daily commitment, you're more likely to meet your sprint goal. Makes sense, doesn't it? So that's what I just want to say about that and the daily commitment and why you do it from a PMP world. Woohoo! Hey, Mix, scary thought. Actually, we went over. It's like 15 minutes and 18 seconds. With that, I want to say, please give us a thumbs up, like and share. And as Eddie would say with this cool bell he got, that it's a Liberty Bell for Philadelphia. Oh, please ring the bell on YouTube so that when we put message stuff out, you can get notices of new stuff going out. And with that, you have a great Tuesday. It's a reduced week for holiday weeks and stuff like that, but I'm going to work. We're doing this every day, including Thanksgiving and Sunday. And, go have some fun this holiday. Make some plans. We're going to run some trains. Anyway, I'll bring a train out every day. Why not? It'd be fun. Something different. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Enjoy your day and have fun working. Happy scrumming. Bye. Bye.